Good evening, and welcome to the Baseball and Beer Podcast. I'm your host, John Ney. So we starting out the weekend tonight, folks, with the Militia from Artillery Brewing in Drexel Hill on Fern Boulevard. This is a German-style Helles Lager, 4.7% alcohol, very good beer. One of my favorite breweries out there, Artillery. The one on Fern Boulevard, which I've been to quite a few times. Great atmosphere, friendly staff, great food, great beer, music, awesome place to watch the game, plenty of parking, everything you can ask for in a brewery. I've been there quite a few times, like I said. I've never had a bad time there. I always have fun there, and they got a great takeout selection of beer. I brought a few home. I was down there last Saturday for the Bonner Prendy Founders Day. For anybody from Delco would know what that was. And we had a really great time down there. So anyway, folks, the Phillies. So Phillies continue to steamroll through September, coming off a 4-game sweep of the Mets, which has pretty much ended the division. The Phillies now have an 11-game lead over the Mets with 15 to play. And, right now I think the Phillies, they got their sights set on possibly trying to catch the Brewers for first overall. They're 2 games behind them, starting play tonight. And we are currently 4.5 games ahead of the Dodgers for that second seed. It's going to be very important, folks, for them to get one of these 2 seeds and the bye. I was not a fan of the bye in the past. I like, you play 6 months of baseball, 162 games, 6 days a week, coming out of spring training. I kind of thought, you're hot, go right into right into a series and keep on playing. I kind of always thought the week off could, cool a hot team down. But unfortunately, Trey Turner and Alec Boehm are both injured right now. Boehm will probably be back sometime next week, if not when the final homestand, final 6 games. Turner's a little longer. He's got a hamstring. He missed 6 weeks last year with it. They're expecting him back for the playoffs. So, right now we got about 3 weeks to go in the regular season, counting this week still. And, an extra week off would only help Turner getting back. So, very important for the Phillies to get, the first or second seed and get that bye. And, get some rest, get the rotation set. It's probably for the best for this current team this year. They start tonight a series with Kansas City. Walker Buehler will be making his Phillies debut tonight. He was brought on. Right now they're saying for a 6-man rotation for the final 15 games to give Sanchez, Suarez, Luzardo, maybe skip a start or, a couple innings off, to have them fresh come October for the playoffs. In my opinion, Buehler was signed for one reason only. Yes, he's going to make a couple starts here, folks, but he was signed pretty much for the bullpen for what he did last October with the Dodgers. He didn't have a good year as a starter last year, as he has not had good starts this year with Boston. They released him. The Phillies were able to pick him up. But he was phenomenal out of the bullpen for them. And he had a rehab start here down in Lehigh Valley. He does start tonight, so hopefully he can throw some solid innings for them and, get ready and ramp things up and be a solid right-handed arm out of the bullpen to start the playoffs. Like I said, we got 15 games to go. 9 of those games will be played at home. 3 starting tonight, and then the final 6 of the season. 3 with Kansas City. The final 6 are against Miami and Minnesota. Big series coming up next week, folks, which could determine that second wild card spot. The Phillies head out on a West Coast trip to L.A. and Arizona. Both these teams are fighting. The Dodgers are fighting, trying to hold the Padres off for first in their division. They would probably like to come in second and get the bye as well. And Arizona sits 3.5 games behind the Mets for a wild card spot. So they're going to be giving their best out there. So that's going to be a tough road trip for the Phillies. I think it's important to get 2 or 3 from Kansas City here at home, where they've been phenomenal at Citizens Bank Park. And that could be a tough road trip. I think a 3-3 would be acceptable out there. They probably have to beat the Dodgers. According to the tiebreaker, if they have the same record at the end of the year, if the Dodgers win this series, the Phillies had won a series earlier in this year. If they finish with the same record, the Dodgers get the bye due to strength of schedule. They have a better record amongst their division than the Phillies do amongst theirs, and that is the first tiebreaker with teams tied in that scenario. So 4.5 back, I kind of look at that 3.5 back of Dodgers. So, the Phillies, I would like to see them get 2 from the Dodgers. If not, get at least 1, get a couple from Arizona, 3-3. And then you come home with Miami and Minnesota, and quite frankly, they're bad teams. And you're at home where they've been good. They could get 5 out of 6 there. So the Phils are sitting in a pretty good spot. They just got to take care of business. Continue doing what they've been doing. I mean, I was down there last night. The game, fantastic game, great atmosphere. Down 4-0 in the first. They came back, took the lead 6-4. Duran came. Luzardo pitched, 7 solid innings after the first inning. A little hiccup there. He gave up 4, and then Duran came in and shut them down and sent the New York Mets and their fans back to New York with their tails between their leg and their playoff hopes in jeopardy. So that was nice to see, folks, after, last year the Phillies being eliminated by the Mets and their fans talking, yapping, and, the Phillies being swept, a few weeks ago up in New York. And, they really thought they were going to have a chance to, to catch the Phillies in the division here and maybe overtake them. And you can forget about that now with an 11-game lead. So they just, the Mets are going to have to concentrate on just holding off the Reds, Giants, and Diamondbacks to make the playoffs. So, folks, the team's playing really well right now. Otto Kemp's come up, stepped in nicely the last couple games for Bohm over at third. And, Sosa is always a reliable, always reliable when he plays. He's stepping in at short for Turner there. Weston Wilson got a start at second base last night. So, he's going to be mixing it up a little bit, Topper down the final 15 games here. You'll probably see more Sosa and stop playing. Kemp will play every day till Bohm comes back. The outfield has been phenomenal. Bader in center field has been a blessing. I'll be the first to admit that, I just thought that was nothing more than another platoon player for the outfield, and he has taken the job and ran with it, and that's his job in center field right now. Doing a good job leading off the last couple games. And the platoon of Marsh, Kepler, Castellanos, and Wilson is working. I mean, Topper's pushing all the right buttons right now. The team seems to be playing really well, and an 11-game lead, folks. What can I say? This team, they're closing in. They're I'm looking at a 95, 96 win season here. I didn't anticipate that when the season started. Surely didn't anticipate it last week when they lost 3 to the Mets, or a couple weeks ago. But they got their shit back together, and they're playing some good ball. Looks like they're having some fun. And, we'll go from there. I mean, everything's looking good now. The starting pitcher, minus Wheeler. Zach right here, down for the year. So maybe, this team will step up and, do it for Zach. Luzardo looks good. Nola had a very encouraging start this week. So if he can parlay off of that and continue a couple more good starts and be a reliable starter in the playoffs when needed, he probably would not be needed in the NLDS, a 5-game series. I would think, I could be wrong on this, that it would be Sanchez, Suarez, and Luzardo. But maybe Thompson wouldn't feel comfortable with 3 lefties in there. Maybe he would throw Nola in there. It could be a piggyback game. Nola piggybacking off Suarez or Luzardo. I don't know how they're going to work it out, folks. But they're in a good spot with their starting pitching. And the bullpen is coming together well. Robertson's been a great pickup. Duran, obviously, has been lights out, 13 of 14 saves. Meza, they picked up, another left-handed reliever who will replace Alvarado on the playoff roster. Actually, Alvarado is being placed on the IL tonight, and Buehler will be added to the 40-man to pitch tonight. But, Strom, Kirkaren, Banks, they've all been well. So, and Buehler, if he ends up being another arm in there, you're talking a bullpen 7 deep, folks, and starting pitching, it should all be able to go at least 6 innings, if not 7. Sanchez, Suarez, Luzardo, Nola in there, if they need him. So, things are looking good. The team's hot right now. I mean, this is what you want to see, halfway, the midway point of September here. Stay hot and hit them playoffs ready to go. So here's looking to a long Red October, folks, and finishing with a parade down Broad Street. So have a great weekend, and go Phils. Enjoy, everybody.